Coming up, it is Tennessee and Marquette, part of the Big East SEC Invitational. Should be a dandy of a game. We are coming off of the Duke 56-52 win over to Nashville. We go. It is Marquette and Tennessee.
The lights of Broadway in Nashville, Tennessee, that is. The holiday season in full display in Music City, USA. We've got the Big East SEC Invitational. Marquette, maybe the best trio of guards in the nation. But they've got somebody to deal with. That's the preseason SEC Player of the Year, Tyler Smith and the Volunteers. Volunteers and the Golden Eagles on deck. From the Sommet Center in Nashville, Tennessee, the Big East SEC Invitational, and the matchup is a good one. Marquette's Golden Eagles ranked number 23 against the 19th ranked Volunteers of Tennessee. Welcome back to Nashville, everybody. Brad Nessler with Jimmy Dykes. Janine Edwards will join us in just a minute. Tennessee, yes, ranked 19th. 8th ranked on Saturday before, as you said, they got doinked by the Temple Owls up in Philadelphia. How are they going to bounce back from that?
Well, they better bounce back with a real flurry, because this is a Marquette squad that's going to really go after him. Marquette with those senior guards, very aggressive, driving that ball to the rack. Tennessee has to get back to playing really hard. I think the last 2 or 3 years, Bruce Pearl teams played as hard as anyone in the country. Can't say that about him right now. They better get back to it tonight.
Well, one guy that always plays hard for him is Tyler Smith. He played hard all of last year. He's a preseason Player of the Year, a guy that had a triple-double 2 games ago. That's never happened in 2,339 basketball games in Volunteer history. So he's one guy you can hang your hat on, and he's one guy that's going to be in our Star Watch, which is brought to us by A Diamond is Forever. Here's a couple of diamonds, and it's not in the rough.
No, not at all. Wesley Matthews is outstanding right now. Tyler Smith, when things go bad for the Volunteers, number 1 gets his hands on that basketball.
Let's take a look at the Pizza Hut starting lineups. First for 6-2, and they took it on the chin, Janine, on Saturday afternoon. They've got to play better today.
That's right, Brad. That loss to Temple on Saturday illuminated for Coach Pearl some of his team's vulnerabilities, specifically a lack of intensity and execution on defense. So at yesterday's practice, Pearl was visibly frustrated, making impassioned pleas for his guys to sprint to help their teammates. Then he angrily slammed the ball to the ground. It's easy to understand Pearl's frustration when Tennessee is forcing just 13 turnovers and averaging only 6 steals per game. Jimmy, how critical are those numbers for Tennessee?
Well, I think they're very critical to Tennessee, Janine, because this is a program that Bruce Pearl has built on the defensive end of the floor and making a living of playing harder than you do. And right now, those defensive numbers, they're not turning people over 20, 21 times a game. They have long guys this year, but the effort right now from this young team is what Bruce Pearl, I'm sure, is talking about right now in that huddle. The first 5 minutes of this game, he knows Marquette is going to come at you.
And he talked with us. Yeah, all their guns. And he talked with us about trying to take care of those 3 guns in the Marquette backcourt.
You cannot guard them one-on-one. I mean, usually you wait for a guy to take it off the dribble and get beaten, and you rotate. You got to rotate when they, even before they start to dribble it, because they're going by. And you got to make them make another play, because if you don't, they can get to the rim or they get fouled, and it's very difficult.
He's talking about Dominique James. Tony Green's got the ball in hand. We are set from Nashville, and we're underway in Tennessee. We'll have it first. Chisholm not in the starting lineup on Saturday. He is today, and here he is on the low block against Burke.
With a tight bounce against Marquette when you attack that paint.
Marquette in the navy and gold. Tennessee in the white with the Tennessee orange trim. 10 on the shot clock as Mays with a crossover dribble against James, up and in. Dominique James is always going to give away a little bit of height. He gives away about 3 inches in height to Bobby Mays.
Dominique James with that basketball right now. Buzz Williams has done a great job of deprogramming him and reprogramming him as a point guard. A terrific assist-to-turnover ratio right now from Dominique James.
Hayward's going to try a 3. And the rebound all alone is Bobby Mays.
Not a Tennessee team that's going to light you up from that three-point line, only making about 5 or 6 a ball game.
There's no Chris Lofton anymore.
Nope.
He's playing in Turkey. They'll try one, though, from Hobson. And it's James with a rebound.
Hobson has settled for three-point shots too much right now as a freshman. He has only taken 5 free throw attempts so far for Tennessee.
Ball is loose, but comes to the Golden Eagles. Here's a three-pointer on the way from McNeil. Hayward in close. Ties it 4th in the conference coming into tonight's action. Well, we only had 1 tie in our first game. A lopsided Vanderbilt win over South Florida. We've already got a tie here, 2-2. Buzz Williams working that sideline. Thought there should have been a turnover called, and he got it anyway. Finally,
as a student manager in college, Bruce Pearl worked his way through the Division II ranks. So these are 2 guys that understand after the gym sometimes you eat cheeseburgers and drive home in a van, and they appreciate where they are right now as head coaches because of it.
Matthews for 3. Wesley Matthews, the leading scorer on this team, drops in a triple, and Marquette by 3. Chisholm trying to answer. Hurried that shot. He's not a bad three-point shooter for a big guy, but that's probably not what Bruce Pearl was looking for. Here's a wide open look for Hayward, and in and out, halfway down, and it comes out. Marquette scrambling for the rebound.
Got a great luncheon today at the Wild Horse Saloon downtown with all 4 coaches participating, and really opened up about who touched them in their basketball lives. And Bruce Pearl and Buzz Williams are 2 guys that have just slowly and methodically worked their way up to where they are today.
And of course, Buzz worked with Billy Gillespie at Texas A&M before, I should say after being head coach at New Orleans for a year. Here's James for 3. The rebound snatched out of there by Josh Tabb. Bobby Mays so quick with that crossover dribble. Three-pointer by Hobson. Rebound belongs to Matthews.
Brad, again, Hobson settling for a first side jump shot from the three-point line. Don't need it.
Extra pass in the paint. Janine.
He told me Williams would do a great job. He's an excellent assistant who's become a great head coach, and he's got a committed group of guys.
Well, more of a freewheeling group, I guess, in the full court maybe compared to Tom. It is a different style, and I'm sure it's taken a little adjustment, especially these backcourt guys, Jimmy.
It has, and these 3 senior guards from Marquette have done a great job of adjusting to a read and react motion offense. Tom Crean very successful with over 100 set plays in his arsenal. Marquette ran those for 3 years with these veteran guards, and right now, a very good job in their motion spacing and attacking the paint.
James trying to get it to Burke. Burke can't find the handle. Now it comes free to Matthews with 10 on the shot clock.
Boy, Tennessee doing a great job of keeping Marquette out of the blue part of the floor.
Hayward off the glass. So as Jimmy said, doesn't necessarily have one kind of move per se, but he's found himself open in the lane off the glass twice, and he's got 4.
He's one of those effort guys. He's only 6'6", playing inside, so his Valentine has to be bigger than anyone else's, and normally it is.
Tyler Smith leaves it for Brian Williams. Nice feed inside.
Tyler Smith is a guy, Brad, that can really be a factor in this game because he's 6'7" and is a terrific passer. That time he got inside the teeth of the defense and just threw over the top of the molars.
Matthews just buries it. His second 3 for Wesley Matthews.
Again, Marquette only comes in making 6 threes per game, and right now they're on fire from that three-point line. Important that they don't fall in love with the 3 and they get back to driving that ball at the paint.
Bobby Mays is going to bring it back out on top, guarded by Matthews. Down to 10 on the shot clock. There's the entry pass to Tyler Smith. He'll try to go up in the paint with it. Didn't get it to drop. That might be goaltending. Hayward got his hand up there in the cylinder. And so Tyler Smith will get credit for the deuce. 14:50 to go. Here's a guy that knows how to shoot. Senior out of Madison, Wisconsin. Drains a couple of threes. Nashville, kind of a cool, chilly night in here. Warming up already between Marquette and Tennessee. Marquette, Jimmy, up by 4 with 14:50 to go first half.
Well, this is a Marquette squad that's under. Keep an eye on Marquette paint touches, driving that ball to the blue part of the floor over the next 4 minutes.
Matthews pushes it around to James on the baseline.
Tennessee comes out of the timeout in a zone look. They put this zone in yesterday at 4:30. So there may be some holes in it, but Bruce Pearl knows it can keep that ball out of the paint.
Well, 3-pointers by James and company will pull him out of that. James knocks down his 11th of the year, and the lead expands to 7. Williams in trouble in the lane. Mays will try a triple for Tennessee. James with a rebound. 13-6.
Bruce Pearl goes right back to his man-to-man, so he showed one possession of zone out of the timeout. Marquette knocked down a 3. So now Marquette should go back to driving that ball to the paint. They want to get the ball to the blue part of the floor. That is their offense.
Not in uniform again tonight, by the way, having hurt his ankle Friday night before the Temple game at practice. And he tried to go. He's over there in sweats on the Tennessee bench, and that's a huge part. He's probably the second. Well, Bruce Pearl told me the other day he's probably our second best player, and there he is in the hooded sweatshirt on the sideline. So this is 2 games in a row he's missed. In the practice at Temple on Friday night, it's kind of a carpeted area where the carpet and the baseline of the wooden floor is the same color, and he didn't see it. He was chasing a loose ball. That's how he turned his ankle.
Because defensively, Prince is a guy that can match up with Wesley Matthews because Prince is 6'6", one of those long defenders. So that it's more of a defensive loss than an offensive loss for Bruce Pearl.
Hayward trying to go back up after the missed free throw. Can't connect. And a strong rebound by Brian Williams. Woolridge in the lineup. And Brian Williams ran out of real estate in the corner and calls a timeout. Right now it's Marquette leading by 8, 13-19 remaining here in the first half. Reminder, we got more hoops coming up. Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers Thursday. Top-ranked North Carolina. Tyler Hansbrough goes for the all-time North Carolina scoring record against Evansville. Then at 9 o'clock it's Louisville and Ole Miss as the Big East SEC Invitational will continue. That's Thursday Night Hoops on ESPN. Matthews coast to coast, lost a handle going up. I guess he was helped losing the handles. Tim Higgins blows a whistle and calls a foul. Hall of Fame in Madtown. So he's got the genes, and he's got the look, and he's got the game, and he's got 7 points so far tonight here in the first half. 13 minutes to go in the first half. Brian Williams, the kick out to Tatum. He'll try to drive the baseline. Boy, nice hang time by Cameron Tatum. Redshirted last year after playing in the first 7 games of the year before injuring his knee. James was open there for a second. I thought he was going to let it go. Behind the back pass over to Hayward.
3-4 shots that they take. I'm not sure Tennessee can shoot it well enough in this game to beat Buzz Williams on the first shot. They can beat him on the second and third shot. Marquette, a small team, has to gang rebound all evening long.
That means somebody like Chisholm's going to have to come through down low. As we said, no Chris Lofton, or they wouldn't be 0 for 5 outside the arc. There's Chisholm going strong to the basket.
Brad Chisholm cannot continue to be a 10-point, 7-rebound guy. He has to decide if he wants to embrace being a star in this league and jump up to 18 points and 10 rebounds. That's the challenge right now for Wayne Chisholm from Bruce Pearl.
Bruce Pearl had a little chat with Wayne's parents and Wayne about that very thing. Time to grow up. Even though you're a big guy, time to mature and become stronger and become better. We'll see if that is the case over the course of the season in Knoxville. 3-pointer on the way. Jarrell McNeil. So James has 1, McNeil has 1, Matthews has 2, and Tyler Smith's going to go to the free throw line. Timeout, 11:38 remaining. Tennessee trailing Marquette still by 8. 3-pointers here in the opening 8.5 minutes of the ball game. Speaking of, Bobby Mays knocks down a 3-pointer.
Now that Tennessee full court pressure with the size of Tyler Smith on the ball, I think it's going to be very difficult to turn Marquette over. You're talking about 3 senior guards that have gone through the battlegrounds of the Big East.
There's a turnover, a rarity so far in this game. The trailer is Mays. Tried to pull up, didn't want to end up with a charge, and he came up short on the shot. And now it's Matthews weaving through traffic. From the elbow, he walked with it before the shot. Matthews, Mays, 1 out of 6 outside the arc for the Volunteers. Chisholm will try another one. Oh, he got hit in the face, I think, but they didn't see it. Patrick Hazel looked like on the follow-through got Wayne Chisholm right in the nose. Mays clears off the miss. He's quick with the ball. Hobson pulls up on the baseline and scores his first basket.
And Brad, that's what he needs to do. I had him in the Jordan Brand All-Star game, and I think he's really good at attacking and slashing with that basketball. He has kind of settled on that perimeter too much early this year.
Tennessee fans finally come to life. They've cut the lead down to 3. McNeil, and he's hit as he shot.
Scotty Hobson ended up here in Tennessee, being from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. He told me it was down to 4 schools: Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Louisville. But Jones put the hard sell on him, making him realize he'd have opportunity and he'd also be an elite company, because he mentioned Allen Houston and Chris Lofton as 2 guys from Kentucky who were stars for Tennessee.
To maintain your top 15 status like Tennessee has been the last couple of years, you have to bring in those top 50 players.
Yep.
And Bruce Pearl, for the first time this year, has all Bruce Pearl recruited guys in uniform. If you're going to stay at that elite level, you have to bring in elite players, and Hobson is one of them.
Tyler Smith's one of them, too.
Yep.
Transferred from Iowa, came in last year. He's on the Wooden list, made all SEC a year ago. He's a Mr. Do-Everything. He just hit that last shot. James might have forced a 3 there, and Tyler Smith the rebound, and the outlet to Mays, and Mays the lob. And they throw it away.
But the pace right now is exactly what Tennessee wants. They want it to be a track meet. Yes, Marquette wants to play fast, but maybe not as fast as Tennessee on this floor.
Here's Hayward, and he's fouled.
These kids yesterday and said the letters on the uniform tonight are not IPFW. They are start with a T and end with an E, and it's going to be a different level. But Hayward right back to that 18 rebound level early in this ball game.
A bunch of E's and N's and S's involved in between.
Oh.
Look out. That's not a good landing for either guy. But it's even worse for Hobson.
I like the aggressiveness of Hobson here. He just over-elevates, over-penetrates. He floated, Brad, at the end of his aggressive move. Stop on a dime right there and go up. This is a Marquette squad that's just as quick, if not quicker, than Tennessee at all 5 spots. Very difficult to drive it from 20 and get all the way to the rim. You can drive it from 20 and get to 6, but not all the way to the rim.
Dwight Burke still laying motionless there. That's really how you take a charge. Stay perfectly calm until the other guy gets off you. 9 minutes left in the half. 3-pointer won't go this time. Tipped by Hobson out to Mays. Mays looking to run. He's got Woolridge on the flank. Rejected. McNeil goes out. Jimmy Butler comes in for Buzz Williams' Golden Eagles. Chisholm feeds the paint. Shot gets forced up there by Negatu, and it'll send him to the free throw line.
They've tried to just wear you down. Maybe not with turnovers, but take your legs away. This is not a deep Marquette squad.
They cut the lead from 8 to 3. They being the Volunteers. 8:40 remaining first half. Brad Nessler, Jimmy Dykes, Janine Edwards. This is the Big East SEC Invitational from Nashville. It's number 23 Marquette, number 19 Tennessee. Hayward, 3-pointer rimmed out. And the rebound comes off to Tatum. Tatum ahead on the lob to Chisholm from Mays.
Not the pass you want. I mean, Tennessee wants to play an up and down, turn into an athletic jumping game, but that was too difficult of a pass. A bad angle, guys on a bad position to go up and get it. Costly turnover for Tennessee. This is not a Marquette team that's going to beat themselves. So you better not help them out with, there's my foot, I think I'll shoot it.
Right. There's a hole between toe number 1 and toe number 2.
He's a player.
Yeah, he is. Lazar Hayward's got 8 to lead all scores.
Right now, he is just tougher than Chisholm and the bigs that Tennessee has put on the floor. Hayward at 6'6", giving up 4 or 5 inches.
See if Tennessee gets a really good shot. That's probably not it, but it goes anyway. Woolridge, that's his 11th 3 of the year, and that was from long range.
Only a 29% shooter, and there's a fine line between fearless and clueless. And sometimes young guys, it takes a while to understand the difference between a fearless shooter and a clueless shooter.
They don't know what they don't know.
No, exactly.
Here's a steal. Volunteers, Tatum trying to take it coast to coast. He'll get to the free throw line at least. But down to a 2-point game, courtesy of the freshman, Ronaldo Woolridge. Draining a triple. 23-21 Marquette. Got the lead to a deuce. 7:21 left in the first half. Take us inside the play, James.
Tennessee doing a good job of their off-ball defenders actually ball watching, and that's not what you normally do defensively. You don't teach guys to watch the ball, but against Marquette, as we watch this thing roll, hold it right here, guys. Once the ball gets to the paint, Marquette doesn't have a lot of great movement off of the ball, so you can get away. Look at all the white jerseys. They're ball watching right now. And that ball is going to tell you where to go and shoot the gap. And the gap's going to be shot right here because they are ball watching defensively. Shoot the gap, and you're off and racing to the other end. Tennessee can rip and run with the best of them in the country. And it's not easy to get your kids to not ball watch. And then, hey, but against Marquette tonight, when the ball goes to the paint, I want your eyes attracted to the ball watch, and shoot the gaps. And Tennessee just did a nice job of ball watching defensively.
Scott Hobson took a bad spill earlier. Janine, you have an update?
Yeah, I was just here with trainer Chad Newman, who was telling me that he hurt his left hand when he hit the ground. He was feeling a lot of soreness in that left wrist, kind of just where the hand there attaches into the wrist. So Newman has taped it up. He's just asking trainers to bring him some ice. He said he's questionable to go back in.
Well, they don't need to lose any more bodies with J.P. Prince again on the sideline in street clothes for the second straight game. And he's sitting right next to J.P. So there goes one of your starters, and another one of your starters already sitting there with a hooded sweatshirt on. Meanwhile, Tatum at the free throw line.
Guard and come at you. Will Bruce Pearl think, let's get some size on the ball? And there's the size on the ball again, making it tough to inbounds.
Whoops.
Almost got
caused
it.
a turnover.
Almost got him.
McNeil wipes off the bottom of his shoe, and they get it into the front court to him.
Bruce Pearl coaches that full court pressure with a gut feeling. He just has been doing it so long from his days at Southern Indiana under Dr. Tom Davis, the guy that he credited today in the luncheon. Has influenced him more than anyone as a basketball coach, and he coaches with his gut of when to turn the pressure on and when to back it off, and he has a great feel for it.
He talks about Dr. Tom virtually every time. You can be talking to him about something completely out of basketball, and he brings up coach's name.
Yep.
They stopped play briefly because of where McNeil slipped down. They wanted to wipe off the court in the backcourt, so that's why we had a break in the action. Chisholm almost caused a steal. 10 on the shot clock.
I don't think Buzz Williams is getting as many paint touches as he would like so far in this ball game from Marquette.
Nice hustle by the Tennessee defense, but Dominique James got in the lane. Ball tipped several times and still.
To challenge and defend without fouling.
He's only 5'11", but he can jump out of the gym on you. Here he is on the baseline, trying to leave it for Burke underneath. And now the three en route by McNeil. Tennessee's got the ball and a chance to take the lead for the first time since it was 2-0 at the beginning of the game. Williams hook shot, does it.
I like how big fella looks this year. He has trimmed down. I think he plays hard. I think he cares about becoming a better basketball player. And he's a target that Tennessee doesn't have if he's not on the floor. I like Williams around that rim, the power spot.
First volunteer lead since the opening minute of the ball game.
Brad, Marquette only has 10 paint touches in this ball game. That's a very low number for Marquette this deep into the game.
Tatum gets another steal, and in the process is going to be fouled by McNeil. Boy, Tatum has really hustled defensively. I'll give him that. He's got a couple of big-time steals.
Ryan Williams gets 8 rebounds a game, Brad, and he only plays 16 minutes. So 1 rebound every 2 minutes equates to, that's a guy that plays hard. That time he was in position to score because he ran the floor and just outworked everyone.
Remember, Bryant a couple of years ago weighed 374 pounds.
Yeah.
Down to 267. Lob for Williams.
Now, I'm not in love with a play call to throw a lob to a guy that used to weigh 376 pounds. I'm not sure Bruce Pearl is either. I don't think that.
I didn't say he got hops out of the deal. I didn't say he lost 120 pounds.
I don't think that play call came from the sidelines. I think that was a make eye contact, but You have to know the guy you're making eye contact, who it is and what he can and can't do. Well, keeping the ball out of the blue part of the floor. Can't emphasize enough the job that Tennessee has done in this game. Again, a strip.
That time Tab almost got the steal. He and Tatum had quick hands defensively. 8 on the shot clock as Dominique James pulls it out. Now gets a big guy on him in Chisholm, and he walked with it. So Chisholm makes a run at James and forces a turnover.
This is as good a defensive series that I've seen from Tennessee all season long. You look up right now, the home team is only 16 fouls. So they are keeping Marquette off the free throw stripe again. The team that is third in the nation, Marquette, with 31 free throw attempts per game, right now cannot get to that charity stripe.
Remember, this is a Tennessee team that saw Deontay Christmas at Temple put 30 on him in the second half and 35 for the game. And at times it didn't look like anybody for Tennessee was guarding him at all. But they played much better in that capacity tonight. This time they here on ESPN. It's the Big East SEC Invitational from Nashville, where Vanderbilt won the first game handily over South Florida. Now Tennessee with a 1-point lead with 5 minutes remaining in the half over the Golden Eagles of Marquette.
Marquette just, they cannot get to the paint. So if you're Tennessee right now, you almost applaud that Marquette had to make a tough 2 over your defense.
And a whistle and a foul is going to be on Hayward.
Junior and J.P. Prince that are juniors. How good are those guys going to lead this team? I mean, that's what's I think Bruce Pearl is trying to figure out right now, because you lost leadership in Jawan Smith and Chris Lofton, one of the better leaders you and I have seen in a long time. And now it's time for Smith and Prince and Chisholm to step up into that role.
Chisholm got 1 on a 2, and we're tied for only the second time tonight.
I'm going to say Marquette right now has 11 paint touches in this ball game. That is an unusually low number. There's the 12th one in this game that results in a layup at the rim.
Oh, McNeil's got a good game, doesn't he? Inside, outside, medium range stuff. Marquette back in front by a deuce at the 4-minute, 10-second mark. Tanner Green with a whistle and the foul.
He says at first he didn't realize just how impactful a coach his dad was until he saw him make good players great. I asked him what's his funniest father-son moment, and he said when Coach Pearl got ejected from one of his high school basketball games. It seems that Coach Pearl was sitting in the stands and was questioning some of the refs' calls, and he was ejected. Stephen thought it was pretty funny, actually.
Well, there has to be more of the story than that. If you're sitting in the stands and you get ejected because you don't like some of the refs' calls, I don't know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're just saying?
He's just as passionate as a fan as he is as a coach.
Or as a dad.
Or as a dad.
As a coach. Yep. 4 minutes remaining in the half.
1-4 pressure release by Marquette. So Marquette going to a pressure release, and they feel the Tennessee defense starting to wear on them a little bit.
And Butler going up a 3rd try.
Andy, go to the whiteboard.
I want to see Andy go out on the court and hit that shot, Ryan. That's what I want to see. Got to love those 60-footers, don't you?
Syracuse was stunned, and now that's one of the things I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'll be in the studio in Bristol when Syracuse
one here playing defense with 3:45 remaining in the half.
I would go to Brian Williams, 33 in white. He's got a size advantage. Oh, terrific.
Wow.
Wow, did you see that
block
play?
by James.
5'10", and just went and erased a 6'7" guy at the rim that had great explosion. You will not see a better defensive play from a 5'10" guy all season long.
I told you he can jump out of the gym. That might make plays of the evening on SportsCenter. That was sensational. Take a look. That woke up everybody, be they a Tennessee fan, which is the majority of this building, or a few Marquette fans that have made the trip. Hobson has to give it up. Tab, the dish. There it is to Williams. Jimmy said go inside, but he missed the shot. And on top of that, picked up the dry spell here. Chisholm with the rebound on the outlet pass. Maybe they can pick up the pace right here. Mays all the way and one. Tie game. Tennessee can take the lead with the free throws.
Brad, that's a great job by Bobby Mays, understanding that blocked shots are going to try to come at this guy. Now watch what he does at the end. He goes up strong with 2 hands. He didn't try to finesse it. He's thinking right now, at least I'm going to get to the free throw stripe. Look at it. He never took that left hand or right hand off the basketball. He powered that thing up with 2 hands, and he's only about 6'2". That's great understanding of in traffic. I'm going to get hit. I'm at least going to get myself to the stripe, and a great play by Bobby Mays.
Bobby Mays, who started at Oklahoma as a freshman, then transferred to Hutchinson Community College. Misses the chance for the three-point play, but he has tied the game up for the 3rd time in this first half. 28 apiece, 2:45 left till intermission.
Marquette with 14 paint touches, I think, in this ball game. And that is a low number for Marquette. Tennessee has done a great job of shadow defenders, ball watching, keeping the blue team out of the blue part of the floor. That's the story in this ball game right now. Out of that part of the floor.
Negatu knocks down both free throws, and it's a 2-point advantage for Tennessee. That matches the biggest advantage they've had in the ball game, and that was on the opening bucket of the game. See if Marquette's got an answer as we approach 2 minutes. Matthews was red hot early from outside the arc. Here he is on the drive, the extra dish to Burke.
And he stays in there and doesn't break the plane and gets it to go down.
You got to draw that thing behind him every time because he felt it. He could feel your presence, Jimmy.
The good free throw shooters. I've been watching J.J. Redick at Duke. You could put a board behind him and in front of him, and he would never touch those boards.
Option cut off by Butler. They'll work it around the perimeter. Tyler Smith, he's been kind of quiet. He was quiet in the first half against Temple, too, and then came out and had a big second half to end up with 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 on the shot clock as Mays got the iron. Chisholm got the rebound and put it in.
That's where Tennessee has an advantage in this ball game, Brad, on that front line with Chisholm and Williams. Marquette does not have the size to match up with it for 40 minutes.
3-point advantage for the Volunteers. Just over a minute remaining in the half.
Just think about it. The guy guarding the ball for Tennessee right now, he has to be thinking, I don't need help. I don't need help. The other 4 guys have to be thinking, he does need help.
There's a block shot as James went in there, and it was knocked away by Tab, and back comes Tennessee. Tab the kick out, Mays a 3. And it's Matthews who'll clear it off for Marquette. And
the senior, something he did not do his first 3 years.
Good point. 3-point lead. See the shot clock and game clock are about 20 seconds difference. Acker playing the point right now with James in the 2-guard spot.
The zone out of Tennessee, and I'm not sure Marquette realized an off ball so far in this ball game.
12 seconds remaining on the shot clock down in the right-hand corner of your screen.
Now, Tennessee might show zone, but on the first pass, go man. It's a chess match right now in this last timeout before the first half.
Marquette would love to get a good shot.
Tennessee is showing zone right here. Let's see what happens on the first pass.
James 3 on the shot clock. Going to have to hurry. Matthews 3. Got it.
Wow, how about that? That is a huge shot. Tennessee did what I thought. They showed zone and went man, and Marquette just jumps up and makes a shot.
Oh, and now we got an offensive foul on Tennessee. Wow. Wesley Matthews, you talk about sticking a dagger in your defense with the shot clock down to 1, and he hits his 3rd triple of the year. Exactly what you didn't want to happen if you're Bruce Pearl.
You think about it. Tennessee had a 3-point lead with what looked like was going to be the next to last possession, and now Marquette's going to go 2 for 1 with a chance to take the lead with 11 seconds to go.
Tennessee's going to have some full court pressure here.
Bruce Pearl.
Buzz Williams going to comes in the backcourt. Matthews into James. James, final seconds, first half, trying to get the lead at halftime. He's looking for a pick. Dominique James has to give it up, and it's kicked with 0.4 seconds by Hobson. Corner on the baseline. He's the closest. Here's the shot by Matthews, and it's off the mark, and we are tied at halftime at 32. Good game. Great turnaround there in the final 15 seconds for Marquette. Looked like they were going to go to the locker room trailing. Instead, they are tied 32-32 with Bruce Pearl's Tennessee Volunteers, the home team in this Big East SEC Invitational, and Bruce is with Janine right now.
That's right, Brad. And as I mentioned in the open, in yesterday's practice, Pearl was very animated. You were very frustrated with your guys' defense. What are you seeing from them so far tonight?
I think they're really trying to follow the game plan. You got to rally to the ball against Marquette. They're so good driving the basket. I thought we got guys that are running there taking charges. We forced some turnovers. You got to make Marquette beat you from behind that line.
See you second half. Thanks, Coach.
Well, so far Marquette has beaten them behind the line. They've done a great job shooting from outside the arc. Time for the UPS halftime report. Ryan standing by.
All right, thanks a lot, Brad. So 32-32, Marquette and Tennessee. Big East SEC Invitational. Ryan Byrne, Andy Katz in the studio. UPS halftime report. Game lacked a little something, but in the final minute, I think we got an indication of just how good this second half is going to be. It's part two of the Big East SEC Invitational. Game one, Andy, is off.
Just about set to start the second half of the Big East Southeastern Conference Invitational from Nashville. At halftime, 32-32. Brad Nessler and Jimmy Dykes along with Janine Edwards. And Jimmy, you and I talked about this when we were out in the corridor at halftime. This is a game that we think it deserves to be tied. Both teams have played very hard, and both teams have been doing a pretty good job defensively.
They have, and the story in the ballgame right now is the defense of Tennessee keeping Marquette out of the paint. It's a good set play by Tennessee to start the second half to get Tyler Smith involved in this game offensively. That's only his 6th point of the game.
And coming down the other way, definitely playing better than they did Saturday against Temple, Jimmy.
Well, they're doing a nice job of rallying and rotating. And rallying is when that ball goes towards the paint, they're going to rally it off. Look at them rally to the ball and stop it, and then rotate through the gaps and go the other end. That's what Bruce Pearl wants his club to do against Marquette. And right now, Marquette just doesn't have the right mixture going on in this ball game. Too many threes and not enough twos for Buzz Williams' squad.
The guy that has been strong all night, though, for the Golden Eagles has been Wesley Matthews, whose three-point play momentarily gave Marquette the lead as he was fouled by Wayne Chisholm. But then Chisholm offensively came right back and gives Tennessee the 1-point advantage. Here's Matthews, works it to James on the baseline. And he drives the baseline. Leaves it for Matthews, who's got 15, 5 in the half to give Marquette the lead again.
Well, great job by Matthews on that last.
What he's concerned about is getting baskets in transition, and he said we can't keep giving them free shots with all these fouls that we're giving them. One other concern, he's got a very thin bench, and this is a tough, scrappy game. He's concerned about his players getting tired.
Tell you what, either team did a very good job from the free throw line, so there was nothing free about the throws in the first half because one team shot 54%, that being Marquette, and Tennessee shot 55% from the stripe. That foul on Chisholm, 2 quick ones on Wayne Chisholm. Wayne's got to be careful now. Did a good job of staying out of foul trouble in the first half. That he had a propensity for that last year.
Yep. Buzz Williams might be a little bit more concerned with the lack of paint touches than what he alluded to Janine, because here in the heart of Music City, they're dancing to a tune tonight that they normally don't dance to. They have taken more 3-point shots than 2-point shots in this ball game, something they haven't done all season long.
There was a terrible shot by Hobson. I don't like to put it on a freshman, but when the ball's bouncing around and it's loose and you're just trying to find a handle, you've got plenty of time to set a play or find a guy open instead of taking a 24-footer yourself.
He'll let that fly.
And he'll hit it a few times.
He is going to trail in that break 3 or 4 times a ball game and shoot 2 or 3 threes off of that trail position.
That's his 4th of the year.
For those paint touches. And that's what Bud Williams emphasizes at every opportunity with his kids. But Tennessee's doing a great job of keeping them out of the blue part of the floor in the game. To me, that's the story in this ball game right now.
Dominique James will bring it way out near midcourt to try to reset things for Marquette. Gets it back. He's open, but he didn't take the shot. He will this time for three. And Tab will snatch down the rebound.
Marquette might be quicker on the perimeter, but Tennessee is longer.
And there's the extra pass to Tyler Smith as Burke tried to take a charge. And Tyler Smith rattled it home. And now it's the biggest lead of the night for the Volunteers.
And this is normally a spot where Tennessee will really scramble your eggs for you, but because Marquette has senior guards that can handle that ball, I don't think it'll be easy to get Marquette scrambled.
Hayward going baseline on Smith, just throws up a prayer. Didn't square up, was hoping to draw the foul and go to the free throw line, and that didn't happen.
Be patient. See if you can drive that ball to the rim.
Here's the kick out. Tatum way out. And a rebound off to Burke. Matthews, he's been the guy. This time it rattled out. Tyler Smith will clear it off ahead to Mays.
The game is scrambled right now.
And the foul is going to be on Wesley Matthews.
And the game gets in tough spots. Tennessee normally finds a way to get the ball in the hands of number one. And number one is Tyler Smith. And I think he has a great understanding of running right down the middle of that court in transition, making the defender choose which side to guard you on. Then you get the advantage. Tyler Jr. plays the game with a high IQ.
Here he is on top, getting it out with a three-pointer. Tatum can't get it. Ball loose. Picked up by Butler. Oh, Matthews got around Mays somehow. I thought there was going to be a collision there. Nice job to avoid the defender and give Marquette another chance at the point. Set up by Maurice Acker.
Good job by Buzz Williams at the top of your screen to back his team out. Has control of his team on the offensive end right now with the blue jerseys in front of him. He knows he needs to slow this game down a little.
Matthews gave up an open three. And the whistle. You got a gig downtown tonight? I like that. You got the Johnny Cash
song.
That's good.
That's good. The train coming.
It's rolling around the bend, and that's what Tennessee's doing right now. They're up 4. If they get rolling around the bend, Marquette could be in trouble.
Well, they could. And right now, Marquette, I think they have some concern because they don't have the same tune that they normally dance to in this ball game, Brad. They've only gone to the free throw strike 14 times. This is a Marquette team that is 4th in the nation, almost 32 free throw attempts a game because of their ability to drive that ball to the paint. Tennessee is deleting the drive right now in this ball game.
Right, Tennessee's done a great job defensively, especially if you saw any of the Temple game on Saturday afternoon when they did not defend very well. And on the inbounds play, as they did so often a year ago, they can cause you all kinds of headaches. They almost came up with a steal on the inbound play there. It's Mays and Smith, Woolridge, Brian Williams, the big guy guarding the inbound, and that's part of the problem.
Take away your vision, don't they?
Yeah. He's that wall you were talking about earlier. You can't see through it or around it.
No.
Matthews sets a pick for McNeil, gets it right back and goes strong to the rack and drew the foul.
I am very sure. Nothing else, I'll pay him $10 an hour to play on my City League team back in Springdale. We'll stay on the court all night.
Oh, yeah. Double team on Tyler Smith.
Marquette goes zone now, Brad. They did this against Wisconsin and it won the ball game for them. And it forced Tennessee to knock down some perimeter shots or drive gaps.
Williams has to kick it out, 10 on the shot clock. Mays just barely got a hold of that ball. And now he's going to have to work it to somebody to take a shot. Baseline three won't go, but it kept alive by Woolridge. And now tipped, almost picked off by McNeil. Tennessee can reset.
Bruce Pearl probably thinking right now about a possible timeout to get organized against this 1-3-1. Just lets them play on.
There's a guy that can hit the three. Didn't get it, but Brian Williams, the big guy, keeps it alive. And they're going to say jump ball. And that will give it to Marquette.
And Brad, he should have never brought the ball down and bounced it. Brian Williams got that rebound at the power spot on the floor. He bounced the basketball and allowed the small guys from Marquette to come in on top of him.
I don't think Bruce Pearl liked the call.
He didn't like the call, and when he watches the film, he won't like what Brian Williams did with that ball with an offensive rebound.
He'll tell him exactly what you just told him.
Yeah.
Marquette hasn't had a field goal in a long time, but they're only down 2 with 14:20 to play. Matthews has been option number 1 tonight offensively for Marquette. And an elbow thrown by Lazar Hayward.
Hayward and Tyler Smith jockeying for position, and Hayward gets that left elbow back just enough behind his shoulders to clear out space and gain an advantage, and that's a pretty easy call for that baseline official.
I have this orange mouthpiece.
Yeah, right. There's that 1-3-1 again, and yet Tennessee cannot settle for a first side jump shot here. Drive that ball into a gap right now. Brian Williams should be a scorer on the inside against this zone.
Smith got up in the air, got it on the baseline, way short by Hobson. He has not been on tonight at all offensively. Hayward left wide open, goes up against Williams, just kind of threw up a prayer. And now it's Tennessee. They might have numbers here. Tyler Smith, pull-up jumper himself. And we got a foul underneath. Don't forget. Woolridge, errant pass. James.
Too shot happy, and he gets too quick with that basketball in his hands.
There's the shot happy part, but he got the 3.
And I tell you what, for Bruce Pearl, that was a no, yes, because he did not want that shot to go up from Woolridge. I promise you, he did not want that shot from Woolridge.
He would have been sitting already had he missed that. Well, there hadn't been a stop and play, but he'd be sitting soon.
Yep.
So Woolridge only 2 field goals tonight, both 3-pointers. He's given his team the 3-point lead. Here's Butler underneath, but before that it's McNeil. And McNeil's got some foul issues right now.
Those shadow defenders from Tennessee have done their job in this ball game. That's why they have a 3-point lead. They have kept McNeil and Matthews and James.
Minute without one of their big 3.
Well, they've always struggled over the years with one of their big 3 on the bench. There's a lot of time left in this game.
McNeil with 4 fouls now. So we won't see him for several minutes. Tony Green with a whistle and
I can't believe it went in shot by Woolridge. They have not handled the 1-3-1.
Hobson walked with it. JP still out with the high ankle sprain suffered night before the Temple game on Friday. Hayward tries a 3. Williams trying to tip it to himself. Can't quite get it. And McArms Negatu giving some problems to James on the inbound, and Chisholm picks up his 3rd foul on the was in the Great Alaska Shootout back in 2001, and lo and behold, Dwayne Wade had a Dwayne Wade type of night. 30 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 steals as Marquette won by 11 in that game.
Brett, I like the 1-3-1 right now by Buzz. He's trying to buy some time with foul problems on the bench. Tennessee has not handled this yet so far in the half court, something that Bruce Pearl is going to have to talk about in the next timeout.
I don't think so. Hobson missed the 3 badly, and Woolridge, the other freshman, cleans up his problems.
It's not a 1-3-1 that Marquette has shown a lot of this year, so Bruce Pearl in the next timeout is going to have to gather his kids around him and talk about how to handle this 1-3-1.
What a big 3 by Dominic James. Just when Tennessee had run out to a 4-point lead, James has the answer. He had a good look. He hesitated. He thought maybe there's a better shot, and then he thought maybe it's just best if I take it. Woolridge. Rebound. Marquette with a chance to lead this trip.
That is the shot that Marquette wants for Woolridge to take.
Nice pass to Burke on the no look from James, and he's fouled by Negatu. Wesley Matthews has been very good for Marquette. We'll evaluate
about how much tougher he's going to have to become every day, every possession, every play. And right now, he is probably the toughest guy, along with McNeil, that Buzz Williams can put on that floor.
White Burke hung in there with that second free throw to tie the game again.
Now, does Tennessee's offense against this 1-3-1 look any different than it did going into the timeout?
No, it looks worse. Matthews with a steal.
You're right.
And up with the left hand. He'll go to the free throw line to try to earn it.
With foul problems on the bench, and Tennessee has not answered this defense.
Marquette by 2, courtesy of Matthews' 19th and 20th points. And now Tennessee really has to find an answer.
He's playing catch around the perimeter. Attack, drive, make 2 guys guard 1. Drive it right now, drive it.
He picked up his dribble.
Got to drive that ball with a purpose.
Tyler Smith, maybe he will. Gives it back to Mays, who lost the handle. 6 on the shot clock. They got a timeout called. Good job defensively by Marquette. Marquette on the road trying to pull off an upset with 10 minutes and change remaining.
What was
NBA doubleheader coming up tomorrow. Bruce Pearl called a timeout with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Gave his team an earful, Jimmy.
You see that expression? It's almost like he's telling his kids, you're playing tight.
Yeah, you're scared.
Yeah, against this 1-3-1, be aggressive, drive that ball, and only 4 on the shot clock.
Yeah, they're going to have to be aggressive on the inbound play here just to get a shot away. Tyler Smith, jump stop, Chisholm for 3.
Only fouled him.
Oh, my goodness. Dominic James, that's the last thing you want to do. And that's going to be 3 free throws on his average. And he got 2 of the 3 there to tie the game again. 3rd tie of this half. 4th tie if you count our halftime 32-32 score.
You asked me if Marquette can win the game with Jarrell McNeil on the bench. I think Buzz Williams is hoping to get to the next TV timeout, bring him back at the 8-minute mark and tell him to play smart. Do not over-penetrate in this ball game. He's just trying to buy another minute 45 seconds and change with McNeil on the bench.
Matthews, the 3 rimmed out. Burke kept it alive. I tell you what, if you told Buzz, don't let Wayne Chisholm beat you from the free throw line, he'd say, who cares? I'm not even worried about it. And Wayne's got 4 of 5 this half, and he's got his team in front. Tennessee fans trying to light up the arena.
What a move by James.
Got way up in the air again, got the loose ball, tried to score it, and now he's going to pick up a foul. And a technical on top of it. Burke picked up the foul and then the tee. And I think the technical's on the bench, not on Burke. Dominic James picked up the technical. He was the closest one to Doug Shaw's, one of our officials. You're going to see James get the carom, go up, frustrated that he didn't get to the foul line, I think. And then when the foul was called on Burke, number 12, James, you saw the motion there.
That motion probably included a choice word or 2. Very competitive kid is Dominic James. But right now he's fouled a 3-point shot in the last minute of this ball game. He let his emotions get the best of him. And he's having a terrific senior year as a point guard. And right now he's got to make sure he gets himself back under control in this ball game.
And Chisholm keeps on hitting him from the free throw line. 5 out of 6 this half for number 4. The 6'9" junior out of Jackson, Tennessee. They call him Wheezy. It's because of his asthma, not because of any other reason, but he's a load underneath. We saw him get 18 rebounds against Vandy last year. Remember that game?
Yep, and we have wondered for 3 years how that headband stays on his head.
I have no idea.
If Janine wants to do some behind-the-scenes investigative reporting and come up with the answer to that, that would be the best answer of any sideline reporter in college basketball.
Here's the biggest lead of the night for Tennessee. 9 minutes to play, up 6.
And normally that's where Marquette wins ball games. It's Tennessee getting to the free throw stripe in this ball game.
And a foul. Butler picks up his 4th.
Brad, again, Marquette is quicker on the perimeter, but Tennessee is longer. They go for a steal, and the secondary, the shadow defender. This time it's Chisholm rotating in. He's not quick, but he's long, and that Bruce Pearl did a great job yesterday of driving home the point of shadow defenders in this game.
Tyler Smith probably hurt.
And change will be a big part of this game.
Well, they've got the rebound in Chisholm, so now they've got the chance to make some hay while the lights are still on. And they're going to get some easy ones because of a foul on the baseline on Acker. Foul trouble for Marquette. 3 guys with 4 in the last 2 games. And J.P. Prince. There's J.P. right there behind Tony Jones, behind Bruce Pearl.
That is a 5-point lead when Dominique James went to the bench. Buzz Williams trying to get him some extra rest. So now it's up to a 7-point lead. Can Tennessee take it to an 8 or 9-point lead before the next TV timeout?
Matthews, he might be the savior if there is one for Marquette. 22 for Wesley Matthews.
There's your answer.
They've got to find a way for Matthews to touch it every time down court for Marquette. Nice look down at Chisholm from Josh Tabb. Big second half for Wayne Chisholm.
Now we're at the breaking point for the next TV timeout. Marquette needs a basket. Tennessee needs a stop and a basket before the next dead ball. Uh-oh.
Matthews, he might have been outside the 3-point line too on that foul. Either way, he is going to the free throw line after we return. Wayne Chisholm, big second half for the Volunteers. They lead by 7. Well, the Marquette backcourt, Jimmy, tonight. Wesley Matthews holding up his end for sure. McNeil's had foul trouble.
That's a win of a minute and 3 seconds for Marquette. Very big part of this game.
Stat track, Tennessee. They've outscored every opponent they played this year with their bench. Tyler Smith, James almost with a steal. Now Mays on the dribble. Followed by Chisholm goes. How big has Wayne Chisholm been in this half?
I felt coming in, Marquette had the advantage on the perimeter, and Tennessee had the advantage at the 4 and 5 spot. Wayne Chisholm is paying that off right now for Tennessee.
Wayne has got 20 points. Overplay there, but Matthews didn't take advantage of it. But the 3-pointer by Hayward goes. His first 3 of the night. Couldn't have come at a better time. 3-point Tennessee lead. We're under 7 minutes. Volunteers ranked 19th. Marquette number 23.
And Brad, Marquette goes back to their man-to-man. The 1-3-1 was so good to him. I'm a little surprised by it.
Chisholm with 22.
I don't think Marquette can play man-to-man for the remaining 6:26 and win this game. They can't guard Chisholm inside.
And 5 points in the first half, but he's given his friends some help with some great follows, offensive rebounds. He's been great from the free throw line. There he asked for it, got great positioning down low, and he's got 22 points.
And he has hung around that 6-foot radius around the rim. So the Chisholm trail right now is only a couple of steps. You know what I'm saying? I like that better.
Named that a couple years ago. Yeah, you're right.
I like that better than a 20-foot Chisholm trail.
That's 26 points for Wesley Matthews. He's close to a career high. So is Wayne Chisholm. More importantly, 4-point advantage for Tennessee. Let's see what Marquette does defensively.
He looked a little confused.
My goodness, he got it! Career high for Chisholm as he knocked a 3 down. 25 for the big guy. You're shaking your head over here, so am I.
Marquette wasn't for sure what defense they were in. Chisholm just jumps up and sticks one in the grill.
Up and under by McNeil. Nice looking move, his first basket of the second half. Tennessee still pushes the tempo as Mays tries. He is. McNeil fouls out. And he leads with 5:33 to go.
Well, Wayne Chisholm is a guy that 10 points and 7 rebounds coming into this game, but he cannot continue to be a 10-point and 7-rebound guy if Tennessee is going to continue to hang in that top 20 all season long. So he has answered the bell tonight in that challenge from Bruce Pearl.
He's got to have that thing super glued on. You're right. How does it not come off?
That's the question for Janine Edwards to uncover.
Oh, he just adjusted it. See, it was just a little bit loose.
Janine, she'll go to work on that now.
Yeah.
Janine, one thing about her, she's not going to be outworked as a sideline reporter. She will get us an answer before we see the Vols again. That's a big loss.
We see him several times this year.
Yeah.
So
that is a big loss right there, Brad.
Well, we're kidding around. This would be a huge win for Tennessee. A way to rebound from getting hammered at Temple. It'll be a tough loss to swallow for the Golden Eagles, who are coming off a victory over IPFW, but maybe more importantly, the win over Wisconsin by 3 the previous game. Wayne Chisholm, he's getting a standing ovation, and I think it's well deserved. If his night is done, he's already got a career high, but I'm sure there's plenty of basketball left with 5.5 to play. And both free throws go for Bobby Mays, who's now in double figures.
I think Bruce Pearl will try to get to the next timeout as well. Get some extra rest for Chisholm so he's fresh to go the last 4. So now Bruce Pearl in his mind is thinking, can Brian Williams hold the spot down for us till the next timeout?
And Marquette got it thinking about getting to number 23's hands. And here it is.
Marquette has to drive that ball. They got to get paint touches even against this zone for Tennessee right now.
Matthews kicks it back to James. He's got a 3. Didn't go. Backside rebound. Butler was battling for it.
Mind of Marquette against this zone. Perimeter guys are so well schooled at driving the ball and dragging the shooter behind, and they go back to it.
So many times that Tennessee does that to you. Big guy and a little guy in an inbounds play, and James just couldn't see, and finally tried to lob it to Burke, and it's a Marquette turnover.
Brad, Tennessee has 10 guys 6'6" or taller. They almost make you change your out-of-bounds philosophy for that game. You can't use a small trigger guy on the out-of-bounds, and that's a great point on your part.
Down to 4:45. Tennessee with the lead. Got Tabb and Woolridge, Hobson, Williams, and Smith out there. The guy that's the leader has got the ball right now, and Tyler Smith, the most experience, the oldest guy, got it to Williams, and Williams is fouled.
What did Bruce Pearl do when he took Chisholm out of the ball game? He inserts Brian Williams, and Chisholm, you need to get a blow for about 1 minute and 30 seconds plus the TV timeout. Brian Williams, you get him to his spot. Brian Williams goes up and sets a ball screen, rolls his big derriere to the low block, and gets himself to the free throw stripe. So Brian Williams has done his job so far in place of Wayne Chisholm.
He'll really do his job if he hits the free throws.
Yep.
Does in South Carolina last year when he had 23. Brian got the second one. 5 for Williams. The lead is up to 8. And it's becoming a very important time for Marquette offensively to not let this one get too far away from them.
Tennessee has gone to a zone. They've got to communicate because they don't play it a lot, and they got to make sure they bump people and cover up shooters.
Matthews forced his way through that little.
Tonight, it's been the second contact that has got himself to the free throw stripe, so he doesn't give up the first time he absorbs a blow. Marquette in this game.
Well, we have seen one guy set a career high in Wayne Chisholm. We just checked back in. We've seen another guy equal his career high in Matthews, and that was a great look down to Tabb. Yeah, a timeout with 3:54. Wayne Chisholm blazing the Chisholm trail tonight with a career high with 3:54 left. Tennessee trying to hold on to the lead. Back in Nashville, Big East SEC Invitational, Tennessee leading Marquette 70-62, 3:54 remaining in the ball game. Big night for the big guy, Wayne Chisholm, career high 25 points, almost a double-double. If he gets one more rebound, he'll have that. And on the other end, Wesley Matthews has tied a career high set earlier this year in the loss to Dayton. And he's got 28 points, and he has been the #1 option all night long for the Golden Eagles.
They have found a way to get themselves to the free throw stripe much more in the second half than the first half.
The only problem is Matthews, the only guy that's doing a very good job once they get there.
Yep.
Tennessee now would like to salt things away here with a 7-point lead, but that's really not their style. And Chisholm's going to keep on shooting. Rebound, Hayward. Matthews asking for it, and why not? He's got to touch it. I don't know if they're setting enough screens to get it to him right now. 10 on the shot clock. They set one, but he tries to go through the other direction, and he will go to the free throw line.
Possessions left in this ball game, and their key focus right now is to get some stops.
Man, what a game.
Great individual performance by Wesley Matthews. May not be enough, but he's had a whale of a night.
And they go back to their 1-3-1, Marquette does, which I like, because Tennessee has not handled it all evening long. And look at this.
Oh, great. Well, Tab tried to save it. Now Matthews goes up and under, and James keeps it alive. Loose ball now. Who's going to get to it? Hobson's going to be the first there, and he lost the handle. Two huge turnovers suffered by Tennessee, and it's a 5-point game. Just 2 possessions here and a lot of time left, as Janine was talking about. You don't have to get overly anxious, especially if the young guys on the other team are going to make a mistake. J.P. Prince said, you won't do that when you get to be my age, although J.P.'s only a junior too.
The possession was more important right there than the points. Hobson just made a young mistake by trying to pick that ball up and get 2 points. He just should have secured it and made sure that Tennessee kept possession at that point.
I guess it's easy to say, what do you do if you're Marquette? You get it number 23's hands, but that's what I'd be thinking about right now.
It is, and Tennessee has to answer for that right now in their huddle. And Tennessee also, I think they have to cover, how do we attack this 1-3-1 for Marquette? We have not done it. They're fortunate to have the lead as poorly as they've executed against the 1-3-1 for Marquette. It's a cat and mouse game right now. How much Marquette plays the 1-3-1 with 2:40 to go in this ball game, and how well does Tennessee execute it against it will probably decide the outcome.
Tyler Smith, you figure, is going to come into play somewhere along the line with the young guys that Tennessee's got on the court. And I know that Bruce Pearl is saying to Wayne Chisholm, I know you're having a great night. Don't take another 3 right now. Okay?
That's a great point. Wayne Chisholm needs to keep his big tail end down there around that power part of the floor, because Marquette has not guarded him on that spot of the floor.
So here we go. 2:35 remaining, 5-point game. Still anybody's ball game.
Very important resume win is at stake right now with under 2:30 to go.
Luke Chisholm overplays Matthews, who's double teamed. And now it's Hayward for 3, and he got it. Huge shot. On the floor, Mays, Tyler Smith, Cameron Tingham, Wayne Chisholm, and Josh Tabb for the Volunteers.
There's the 1-3-1. Dominique James is the back line of the 1-3-1 at 5'10". That's a problem.
Tabb takes a 3 and hits it. Huge shot. Only the 3rd 3-pointer of the year for Josh Tabb. Couldn't come at a better time for the Volunteers.
Better stay attached to Hayward.
Hayward didn't get that one. Last touched by Tyler Smith, out of bounds to Marquette. Josh Tabb, junior out of Carbondale, Illinois, known better for his defensive prowess than doing that, but what a shot and what a time for it.
And Brad, he got deep in that far corner, but because he's left-handed, he still had a good angle to shoot that ball. If he had been in the other corner being left-handed, he would not have had a good angle at that rim.
Matthews lobs it into Burt, gets it right back. He'll try triple. Didn't get the bounce off the backboard. Rebound comes off to Tennessee. And did they get a timeout call, or was there a foul call? There's going to be a foul. It's going to be on Acker.
That's what I'm talking about with that shot by Tabb. And he's going to be deep in this corner. Boom, right there. That's a pretty deep corner three. But you like a left-handed shooter to be on the right side of the floor because he can go a little deeper in that corner than a right-handed shooter can. That's a good job not only of Tab knowing where his strength is, but Bruce Pearl making sure that his left-handed shooter is on the right side of the floor.
In essence, it becomes a little more of a wing shot than going way down there in the baseline.
Exactly, yeah. Just the small parts of basketball that only coaches really focus in on and make sure, are my guys in the right spot against this 1-3-1.
Tatum missed both, but Chisholm kept it alive, and he's fouled by James.
He's been a hoss, hasn't he, Brad?
He sure has.
Just does a great job of stepping inside, gets his body off the inside free throw defender, and gets to the middle part of the floor. And we're seeing right now from Marquette something that they could struggle with all season long in the Big East. The front line of Pittsburgh and UConn. Syracuse has good size. Vanuatu. On down the line, Georgetown, Louisville. That's something that Buzz Williams is going to have to try to always maneuver all season long because there's a lot of Wayne Chisholms in the Big East.
Right. Wayne got one of two. We're down to 90 seconds. 6-point Tennessee lead.
Don't leave shooters now. Shadow defenders aren't as important as staying attached on the perimeter, and they don't do it.
He missed the shot, though, did James, and the rebound is Tennessee's. Bobby Mays, they're going to double team him in the backcourt, but he gets it ahead to Tab. And there was a whistle down on the baseline. It's going to be on Burke, I think, and if it is, he's gone.
A.J. Abrams is kind of moving up on the pack a little bit. Way too early to declare it's just a 2- or 3-horse race. Lots of basketball to be played.
Tatum, after missing his last two, knocks that one down. This could give Tennessee the 8-point lead again, which matches their biggest of the night. Time running out on Marquette.
Trying to get Matthews free with a double screen up top. Trying to settle for a three right now. Marquette not even looking to drive the ball, Brad.
That's a two-pointer. Chisholm clears off the rebound. Big double-double night for number 4. Didn't start on Saturday. Got it talking to by his coach about intensity. 26 points and 11 rebounds.
Marquette, 30 seconds.
Marquette takes a timeout with 47.4 seconds remaining in the ball game. So Marquette's down to 1 timeout and running out of time. Tennessee, a night you wouldn't expect to be belonging to Wayne Chisholm, but by golly it was. He likes Nashville, I guess. Little song and dance there. 3-pointer, not afraid to take it. He's hit 2 of those in the second half. Meanwhile, unless something drastic happens in the next 47 seconds.
Well, it's a 3-possession game, so you know that Buzz Williams is talking about fouling immediately anytime you have the opportunity. And you talk about the big numbers from Chisholm, and I think a guy that we haven't called his name a lot in this ball game, but he's been the guy that I think has done a great job for Tennessee is Bobby Mays in this game.
Yep.
Because he's gone up against a veteran, quick, tough perimeter, and Bobby Mays has done an outstanding job of keeping Bruce Pearl's offense under control and making sure Wayne Chisholm stays involved offensively. Bruce Pearl will sing his praises after this ball game.
Don't forget the Big East SEC Invitational game clock. 1 on ESPN, 2, 1 on ESPN. If you missed it, Vanderbilt an easy winner over South Florida in our first game tonight that we had for you on ESPN2. Marquette can ill afford a turnover, that's for sure, and that's what they come up with. And now Bobby Mays, who Jimmy was talking about, gets the loose ball ahead to Chisholm. And it'll be out of bounds right in front of us. Josh Tabb will do the honors. Sports Center follows us. Wesley Matthews picks up the foul. That's his 4th. Tyler Smith will go to the free throw line.
Brad, Tennessee 29.9 away from a very important win for Tennessee and an important win for the SEC. Tennessee is the one team that has knocked off Georgetown already from the Big East, and now they're under 30 to go from knocking off Marquette. Bruce Pearl has been the flag waver for this conference the last couple of years.
Now the chance of SEC right on Jimmy's cue, and Jimmy's not striking up the band, but the Tennessee fans are. In the final 30 seconds here, as it's going to be a sweep for the SEC over the Big East here tonight.
And it's a league right now, the SEC, that needs a win. They've been hit on the chin now first 30 days of the college basketball season. So Tennessee answers the bell in this ball game for this league.
Tennessee being the preseason choice in the conference. James airmailed one to the backside, and Matthews, I think, picks up the foul, and if that's Wesley's, that's his 5th too. But boy, you can take nothing away from how he played tonight.
He deserves a big round of applause from the Vol Nation that's made the drive over from Knoxville. That young man right there, you cannot play any harder than what Matthews did in this game. I salute him.
Great game. It's going to come up short tonight, though. And they can only add to it now before the trip back to Knoxville. And after this one, they will get ready for Belmont on Saturday in Knoxville, and then Louisiana Lafayette also in Knoxville over the course of the holidays, before heading out to Kansas on ESPN on January 3rd.
You know, and Tennessee did not practice on Sunday after they got the knot put on their head by Temple. So they come over here yesterday, and they have an hour-and-a-half practice that had a lot of frustration, a lot of teaching, a lot of absorbing different defensive principles as far as the shadow defenders and different things that they had to do against Marquette. And for a young team to absorb all that and flush out that Temple loss tells you a lot about Bruce Pearl and pushing the right buttons, getting his kids ready to beat a very good Marquette team.
Yep, big win for Tennessee. A walk, another turnover. And this will be Tyler Smith just to bring it in to Bobby Mays, and all the folks in Volunteer Orange will give him a standing ovation. Excellent ball game by Tennessee. Great game by both teams in the first half. We were tied at 32. We were tied 3 other times in the second half. And then the Volunteers, courtesy of Marquette's foul trouble and Wayne Chisholm's career high, pulled away to win it by 12, 80-68. Don't forget, Sports Center is coming up next. For more on this game, you can join us shortly on ESPN News for a post-game extra. Big game for Wayne Chisholm and the Tennessee Volunteers. They go to 7-2 on the season. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Jimmy Dykes, Janine Edwards, and our entire ESPN crew, Brad Nessler saying good night from Nashville. Sports Center is next.